It started the year before we got our charter. We got our charter in 1987. It was an effort amongst 8 men, one of which was a SIGEP from another chapter, who got together and formed a local fraternity called Sigma Phi. Sigma Phi was formed with the express purpose of becoming a SIGEP chapter.
It all started off really at a dorm meeting, or actually it was a dorm party, and a group of friends were there having a good time, and one of my friends, Julio Martinez, came by and said, hey, I want to introduce you to somebody. They're a SIGEP and wanted to know if you're interested in starting a chapter here on campus.
Fun fact, we held the record for colony status to chapter status for over 20 years. We were the fastest in the history of Sigma Phi Epsilon up to spring of '87. And then after that, it took about 20 years for another chapter to do it faster than we did.
Sigma Phi Epsilon was clearly the most active and the most involved group of men at the university. The brothers of Sigma Phi Epsilon were very involved in student government. We had athletes, we had cheerleaders. So we had people everywhere on the university, somehow a SIGEP connection.
As we fast forward to today, we look back at some of those brothers who had initiated the fraternity. You can see their accomplishments and the impact that they have both in their personal lives and the community.
In 1999, when we were in Chicago and we won the Buchanan Cup, and we were able to go up there and receive it on behalf of the chapter. Being part of a pretty diverse chapter at FIU, we had brothers from all different kinds of walks of life. You had people that were coming in from different states and people that had grown up in Miami, and being able to understand their different personalities was something that I've taken into my personal and professional career, and it's helped me out tremendously. I often say that the chapter, and especially being on the executive board, was really like a microcosm of the real world. For me, it was about learning the leadership skills that I would then take into the business world to help, whether starting a couple of new companies or working with different people across all different kinds of industries. I think I got that knowledge, and really the fraternity prepared me to do that while I was in the chapter.
I mean, there's a lot of memories that I had. I think the best would be the friendships that I made. Went into it with a group of friends from high school that we had known since we were kids, and to this day we're still friends. So I think it's the friendships and the camaraderie and those relationships.
I think freedom is found in the context of relationships. Just freedom in the sense like I'm trying to discover who I am, trying to discover purpose, and I think you do that in relationships. And I think SIGEP provides young men an opportunity to be able to do that.
Joining the executive board has definitely taught me a lot about real world experience and how to deal with people, deal with circumstances that you're not comfortable with. And I feel like I've gained a lot of leadership experience, and I've learned how to speak to my brothers, capture their attention.
SIGEP really stood out to me with their process, the whole balanced man ideas. It's just the work ethic and organizational skills that I've learned throughout my process. It's incredible.
There's a balanced man scholarship. So SIGEP has an annual scholarship that they offer freshmen, incoming freshmen that have good grades or what have you, or above a certain threshold.
You would think that I would get even worse grades. My parents thought so. I actually ended up getting better grades while being with SIGEP.
The whole concept is sound mind, sound body. So if you look at it from a philosophical or theoretical perspective, it's about sound mind, sound body. So everything about the program is either to see how you're helping and bettering yourself mentally, spiritually, if you will, or physically. Aside from that, there are several programs in place to provide leadership skills, things like life management, time management, things that help you grow as a person. So the goal is that they don't just come out with a degree and a social experience. The goal is that they get a balanced view of the world, and that then they live a balanced life going forward.
I think it's very important that us as alums support the undergraduate chapter.
Most organizations and fraternities offer the parties and the girls and the social outings, but really I think what differentiates SIGEP is that we preach something and we believe in it and we walk it. And I think being an alumni and supporting the Alumni Association allows you to be a resource to the young men who can step into that experience and blossom from that experience.
If you get involved, friendships and connections will come from them, will develop them. And we have alumni that are connected in every single industry in this community.
I think it's important to mentor the younger brothers in the fraternity. You know, oftentimes people forget the fact that it's actually very rewarding for yourself as a mentor. You know, I can see, I've mentored a couple of younger brothers in the past, and it's great to be able to guide them through that process and to be able to have that background to give back.
The reality is, and I would say this to a younger brother, asking an older brother for advice is a compliment to that older brother. So it should never be something you hesitate to do, and then giving that advice and guiding that individual is also extremely fulfilling as you realize that you help them get through their path a little easier, a little quicker with the benefit of your experiences and your knowledge and wisdom.
you.